Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to TNA Wrestling Bound for Glory 2025 predictions. The countdown show slash pre-show will be on YouTube at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. On the pre-show, we have the Knockouts Tag Team Championship, a rematch from this past week, a couple weeks ago, where the inspiration would have been against the Elegance brand. I got the inspiration to retain the Knockouts Tag Team titles. Also, we get the introductions to the TNA Hall of Fame of the great Mickey James, inducted by Tara, and then the beautiful people, Angelina Love and Velvet Sky, inducted by the hardcore legend himself, Tommy Dreamer. We don't know if the Car Shot Gauntlet will be moved to the pre-show. I doubt it. It should be on the main show. So let's get right into the main show. For the X Division Championship, Leon Slater will take on NXT's Javon Evans. We know there's going to be a marquee matchup between the two X Division slash cruiserweight stars, but who's a walkout victorious? I got Leon Slater to retain the X Division Championship here tonight at Bound for Glory. Then we got the 20-person intergender Car Shot Gauntlet. The winner will receive a trophy and a contract that can invoke anytime within 1 year where championship matches are chosen. We know the number one entry is Li Yang Lee, formerly known as Xia Li in WWE, and then number 20 is going to Max Warner. As we know, the other participants, Joe Hendry, Moran City, Iron Nick Nemeth, the Hometown Man, Isaiah Brookside, and YouTube personality BDE. Who else will be a part of this Car Shot Gauntlet battle royal? Will we see some NXT stars be present? Will we see Matt Cardona being involved? Will we see some alumni from TNA such as Amazing Red? Maybe I don't know. Who knows? But for the gauntlet, I have Joe Hendry to become the new number one contender for a championship match. And maybe he could cash in on the NXT title for all we know. But let's get back into the matches. We got Tessa Blanchard taking on the in-ring debut of Gia Miller. I got Gia Miller over Tessa Blanchard. We know that maybe Victoria Crawford and Jodie Ferret would be getting involved for now. So I do see Gia Miller winning against Blanchard. Then the International Championship is up for grabs. Frankie Kazarian versus Steve Macklin. It should have been a boot camp match, in my opinion. That way it will go to the effect of Steve Macklin. So I do see Steve Macklin to become the new international champion here tonight. Then we got a 10-person intergender hardcore war. All members of the system, Moose, Alicia, Myers, Edwards, and JDC will take on the Order 4, Ali, Tasha Steelz, Special Agent Zero, Jason Hodge, and John Skyler. I feel that this should favor the system, being that they all been together for a couple years now. But I feel like it's time for the Order 4 to take over. To have the Order 4 winning against the system. Do we see any intergender attacks? Maybe Agent Zero and slamming Alicia, something like that, through a table? Or Tasha Steelz goes through a table by Myers and Edwards. Who knows? And then we have for the TNA Knockouts Championship another interpromotional battle. NXT and the current Knockouts champion Kalani Jordan taking on Indy Hartwell. They got Indy Hartwell to become the new TNA Knockouts champion. And then in our co-main event for both sets of championships, the TNA and the NXT World Tag Team titles or our grabs for the Hardys. Amanda Jeff will take on Team 3D Bullyway and D1. Now, the history is that the history dates back to really 99, but this includes Raw and SmackDown, no live events, because almost every live event was more than 4 tag teams involved between the Hardys and Dudleys over time. But the first go around was 99, the Dudleys won. Then you fast forward to August of 2000, the Hardys won that. Raw, the Hardys won that one in 9/11. SmackDown January 30th, 01, the Dudleys won that. March 5th, the Hardys won that. SmackDown rematch for the tag titles, the Hardys retained the championships. And then you fast forward to the Alliance, where the Dudleys won that against the Hardys. And then the Survivor Series 2001 winner take on steel cage match with Jeff Hardy did a swanton off the cage. And Devon moved, or Bubba moved. And the Dudleys ended up winning that one. And then you fast forward to TNA. The Team 3D won the only battle there. So now, who does this favor? Do we give the Dudleys another tag team championship run, and then you end up vacating the NXT tag team titles, then you defend the NXT tag team titles on a table ladders and stairs match at Halloween Havoc? Or do we see the Hardys retaining both sets of championships, defeating Team 3D? Darkstay hits the ring and lays out Matt Jeff. That leads to a rematch at NXT's Halloween Havoc between Darkstay and the Hardys from TNA versus NXT Showdown in the table ladders and scares match. It could go either way, or that maybe just Darkstay hits the ring and puts both teams through tables that could lead to a massive 8-man tag team elimination tables match at Halloween Havoc. That could be something that we could be looking forward to. But for this bout, maybe since the Hardys won their table match in 2000, I feel like it should be the Dudleys or Team 3D. That way you could give Bubba and Devon the NXT tag team titles to add that to their arsenal and to be crowned the actual most decorated tag team in professional wrestling history. Or you keep them on the Hardys, because the Hardys have almost a little bit more tag team gold than the Dudleys, adding the Ring of Honor tag team titles to their legacy. So it could go either way, but I feel that the Hardys retain the tag team titles and the Darkstay hitting the ring makes more sense. And then in our main event for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, another interpromotional battle. Trick Williams will defend the TNA World Heavyweight title against the #1 contender, Mike Santana. Now, in my opinion, I feel like it should have been a lumberjack match with NXT and TNA stars surround the ring. But I feel like it's time for TNA to get back their championship, their world title, and their knockout title, of course. So I do see Mike Santana fulfilling his destiny and finishing his story and becoming the new TNA World Championship in the main event. So that's my TNA Wrestling Bound for Glory 2025 predictions. Leave your guys predictions in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Peace.